Welcome to this software architecture showdown. Today, we are going to explore the two most dominant architectural patterns in modern software engineering, the classic monolith and the modern microservices architecture. We will break down exactly what they are, compare their trade-offs, and help you decide which one is right for your project. Before we dive in, let's briefly define what we mean by software architecture. Think of it as the blueprint for your application. Just as a building needs a structural plan before bricks are laid, software needs a high-level structure that defines how different components communicate, how data is stored, and how the system scales. It is about the big picture decisions that are hard to change later. Let's start with the monolith. The term comes from stone, meaning a single large block. In software terms, a monolithic application is built as a single, unified unit. Your user interface, business logic, and data access layers all live inside one code repository. When you build the app, it creates a single executable file. It is one giant code base where everything is tightly connected. There is a reason monoliths have been the standard for decades. First, deployment is incredibly easy. You just copy one file to a server. Second, debugging is straightforward because you can trace an error through the code without leaving the application. And third, performance is often better for smaller apps because components communicate directly in the computer's memory rather than over a slow network. However, monoliths have significant drawbacks as they grow. Scalability is a major issue. If one feature is popular, you have to duplicate the entire application to handle the load, which wastes resources. They are also tightly coupled, meaning a small change in one area can accidentally break something totally unrelated. Plus, you are locked into your technology stack. You can't easily write one part in Java and another in Python. Now let's look at microservices. This approach structures an application as a collection of small, autonomous services. Imagine breaking that big monolith into tiny, distinct pieces. You might have a user service, an order service, and a payment service. Each one runs on its own, has its own database, and they talk to each other over a network, usually using HTTP. The golden rule here is, do one thing and do it well. The biggest advantage of microservices is independent scaling. If your payment service is getting hammered with traffic, you can add more servers just for that service, without touching the rest of the app. It also gives you tech freedom. Different teams can use different programming languages that best suit their specific problem. And crucially, it offers fault isolation. If the shopping cart service crashes, users can still browse the catalog. But microservices come with a cost. The operational complexity is massive. Managing 100 small services is much harder than managing one big one. You now have network latency to deal with as services communicate over the internet. Data consistency becomes a nightmare. Keeping data in sync across 10 different databases requires complex engineering patterns. Let's compare them side by side. Monoliths offer fast initial development speed and low complexity, but they struggle with scalability and risky deployments. Microservices are slower to set up and highly complex, but they offer excellent scalability and safer, isolated deployments. One is efficient with resources, the other trades efficiency for flexibility. So, which one should you choose? Stick to a monolith if you are a startup, have a small team, or are building a simple product. It lets you move fast. Choose microservices only if you are building a massive, complex platform with multiple large teams, and you need extreme scaling and resilience. The complexity of microservices is usually overkill for small projects. In conclusion, remember that there is no silver bullet. Microservices are not inherently better than monoliths, they just solve different problems. A good rule of thumb is to always start with a monolith and only break it down into microservices when you actually hit scaling limits. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more architecture insights.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.